We were wondering if you'd be open to return to that side of the character.
Say again, sorry?
During the first season of Legends of Tomorrow, you starred in a brilliant plot twist.
A brilliant plot twist.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
We were wondering if you'd be open to return to that side of the character.
Yeah, I guess. Sorry. I don't think I need microphones, you guys can hear me. I don't understand your question at all. Sorry. I don't mean to be rude, but like, what are you trying to say?
We are talking about Kronos, the plot twist in the beginning. Would you be willing or interested to go back to that side of the character?
I don't think so. I think Mick is now at a point where, you know, he's really discovered himself. He's really he's at a point where now he's starting to realise that the team are his family, even though he won't admit it. And he's certainly maturing. He's becoming much more aware, which makes him a lot more interesting, I think, as a character. When we first saw Mick, he was just this raging volcano without any kind of layers. And now there are certainly a lot more layers to him.
What can we expect for the future of Prison Break?
Damn, I should never have posted that thing. I didn't realise it was going to make such news. Look, all I can say is that it's in the works. And I'm going to stick to that. It's, yeah. Yes.
Hi. So with this is Legend of Tomorrow, and with Firestorm leaving and now Constantine coming in, how will that affect the team dynamic in the long run? We know Mick is a little bit of a hard-headed guy. Will he accept Constantine?
Yeah. Well, you know, it's strange. You know, Mick having not cut me cold. Yeah, well, Constantine is certainly a character Mick is not used to. It's going to be avoided in a couple of scenes with him, and it's just very, very funny. The dynamic, I mean, can't believe it, he's bisexual. He's just like, oh my god, you know. So everything. So we played up on that a lot, and it was like we were all on the ground crying, laughter. Yeah. So, yeah. What was the other part of your question?
No, it was just that.
Was that it?
No, yeah, about the team and Mick, Rory, and the team in general.
The great thing about Legends is it doesn't take itself too seriously. You know, I think the first season, our problem was that we took ourselves too seriously, and the second season we started to find our legs, which is much more indicative of the show, I feel, where it's actually headed. And now today, you can call it a comedy, straight up comedy. You know, it's yeah, sure, it has some deep themes running through it at times, but in general, it's a comedy. And the fans have embraced that, the critics have embraced it, you know, everyone's embraced it, so it's cool.
Prison Break ending in 2009 and coming back now 8 years later.
Yeah.
Were you concerned with the public reaction, or if it was going to be as impactful as it was before?
Yeah, of course. You know, Prison Break, when it came out, was such a huge success, and we were expecting a certain amount of, more or less, the same kind of success, but the whole world is different now. I mean, back then we didn't have Netflix. There was no such thing as streaming, you know. So when it was all counted, when it was all said and done, after they did the tally and they do what they do, the researchers, we more or less picked up the same kind of audience we had originally, but it didn't show on the ratings on TV. It showed in other forms of new media. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was a success. Hence the Prison Breaks in Works idea.
My question is about Prison Break. Was there any scene that you shared with Winwood that was a challenge for you?
You mean as an actor or just
Yes,
personally?
as an actor, yes.
Challenge.
Hard scene.
A hard scene?
Yes.
I think when they confronted each other, when Lincoln really slammed him threw him against the door and they were fighting, that was certainly a dynamic that Lincoln and Michael don't really do. And when we do it, it's kind of feels a bit kind of weird when we're really at each other. So that, I wouldn't say it's challenging, I wouldn't say it's hard, it's just a bit different. But it's, it's such a pleasure working with Wentworth, so it never seems like it can't work. We're just good mates, so it really works for that.
You just had your first panel here in Comic Con Portugal.
Yes.
What's your feedback on the people?
I said it on the panel, and I really meant it. The people here are just really friendly and really sweet and polite, very intelligent. I'm really, I'm here with the mate, and we were both saying last night that, wow, this place is beautiful. And I'm a surfer, I'm Australian, and there's beaches, and the property's kind of cheap. Maybe we should just buy it here, But no, it's gorgeous. It's really gorgeous.
Follow up.
Yeah.
The DC movie universe has been having its troubles. Have you seen Justice League? Yes, no. What do you think about the dynamic between the movies and the TV being separated?
It's an odd one. I've no clue why they didn't hire Grant for the Flash the movie. It's absurd, and I don't know whose decision that was. Was it Warner Brothers? Was it my company? Probably. But they're different film divisions, and they're different. TV and film are completely different. To me, it doesn't make sense why, for instance, Grant isn't the Flash. He could do the movie and he go back to TV. So I don't know what they were thinking then. There. No one does. I know that just reading in general the critiques, because I don't actually see these movies, because to me they're really kind of not my thing.
Which is good.
Anyway, the critiques were saying something about how DC TV, Flash, Arrow, Supergirl, Legends have got it together, whereas the DC movie world haven't got it together. That's their opinion. That's what critics are saying. So I'm just quoting critics. Blame it on them. Yes.
Which is your favorite? Supergirl, Flash, or Arrow?
Supergirl, Flash, or Arrow. I'd say probably Flash because I'm I have a lot of respect, and Grant's a really good kid, and I like him a lot, and it's where I got the start, really, with Wentworth, and so I have an allegiance to Flash. So it's probably Flash. No worries. Yes.
Hi, my question is about Prison Break.
Yeah.
How do you see the evolution of the show? Because before in the panel you said that maybe the show should have ended in the first or second season. And what kind of potential do you see for the show? Possible future.
If we go.
If we go.
If we go. Well, again, first season, second season, perfect. Should have stopped. And we all wanted to stop. How do you justify, guys breaking out of prisons every fucking year? I mean, it's just like, but it came down to economics. It became such a success. And we had to, come up with stories that we were trying to make work. The evolution will, I think, if 6 does happen, it'll be something kind of familiar. That's a little insight off there. That's all I'm giving you. Yes.
Speaking on that question, on a personal level,
Yeah.
how do you deal with being the most famous TV show in the world, going out like on the download, and then people asking to come back, and then not knowing if
going to be a second rerun season.
You
So
mean-
how do you deal with that as an actor, as a personal level? How do you deal with all of those higher
Well, nothing lasts forever, you know, and as actors we know that, you know, it's rare that a show even gets picked up from a pilot. So the fact that I was on the show for 4 years, that was enough I was grateful for that. And when it finished, I was ready for it to be finished. We all were. You know, as actors we get exhausted doing the same character for so long, you know. And once it went away, I wasn't affected by that at all, and quite frankly, not being recognized all the time, and that's never stopped. But I'm just saying that, you know, no, it doesn't. It hasn't affected me at all. I just don't see it as an up or a negative or a positive. I just keep going on doing what I'm doing. Does that make sense?
Yes, if you could dress up a cosplay, which character you would like to be here?
No.
You would like to do that kind of things?
You got $200,000? I'll get in a costume for you.
Can I do another one?
Yes.
Just,
of course.
if you could found Santa Claus here, what would
If I found Santa Claus?
Yes, here. What would
It's
you
likely
ask
stunning
him for
Jesus
this
Christ,
Christmas?
yes.
What would you ask him for this Christmas?
Santa?
Yes. 2,000 bucks.
$200,000. That's a good question. What would I ask him? I'll come back to that and I'll give it to you. Because I'm going to think about that one. I like it.
Can I?
Anyway, who just put their hands up? You've said something? Okay, go.
So we've seen that you'll start in The Flash and Legends of Tomorrow and Prison Break, both with Wentworth. How is it different between Legends, the dynamics between Rory and Snart and Michael and Lincoln?
That's a good question too. Man, I'm jet lagged. You guys are challenging. I don't think the dynamics have, as actors, they didn't change at all. It was funny because once Prison Break had finished, Wentworth and I, yes, we've been in touch and we've, you know, via email and what have you throughout the years, but we hadn't actually seen each other in close to 5-6 years. And when we did reunite, it was just like bang, straight away, best friends. It was like, you know how you have these people in your life that, you know, and Wentworth's that guy. So straight away it was like the first take we just went straight back into where we used to do things. So doing the difference between Michael and Lincoln and Rory and Snart, there is no difference in terms of an acting dynamic, present. So yeah, there was none whatsoever. In the roundabout, it's a long way to say that answer, but anyway. Okay. Yes.
You mentioned a little bit about Netflix times nowadays. From a view of background production and stuff like that, how do you feel the TV production changed from Prison Break times till now? Do you feel any change in atmosphere at all?
I think great TV is on streaming. I think that's where great stories are told. And I think Prison Break lost 24 to a degree. Certainly Prison Break set a template, a mold for Netflix, Amazon, and all these kind of shows, cable shows, HBO, to make quality TV, pure quality TV, whereas the networks are much more centered on procedural drama that appeals to mass audiences. And streaming has this ability to unlicense itself with the material. It's a lot of it's unfiltered, meaning that it's so realistic, and that's why it's such great TV. Whereas on network, you can't say fuck, you gotta say freak, or, you know, I mean, you know what I'm saying? So, and I think Prison Break was, I heard that somewhere that Prison Break was one of the shows that kind of set that whole, okay, we gotta make great TV now, but how do we do this, you know? And, Prison Break, if Prison Break was starting now, it'd be on Netflix. It wouldn't have gone to Fox, I don't think. It would have gone to an HBO or Fox or someone. Yes.
Can I ask you something? Because we are from a newspaper that does BDM manga and comics. We made a drawing for you. Can I deliver it to you?
Sure, mate.
Oh, thank you. And my colleague would like to ask you a question.
Yes, absolutely.
This is from one of our artists.
Okay, great.
Okay, you can see it.
Okay.
You can show it.
Well, it's reasonably good. No, it's great. Thank you.
My question is really simple. We've established that you wouldn't do cosplay, but the last few years I've seen a lot of sequels and reboots of a lot of shows and movies from our childhood. Is there one character that you would love to play?
If I had to, I'll tell you a true story. Stan Lee, you know him?
Yeah.
The Marvel guy? I was at a conference somewhere, and I had the pleasure of meeting him, and he said, I wanted you for the Punisher. Years ago. And that's a role that I'm made to play, that I should be playing, that I didn't play. So, and I hear they got a Punisher on now on TV somewhere. So.
It was really good.
Is it? Yes. Yeah, so he wanted me to play the Punisher. I don't want to know, it's fucking good. Hope it tanks. I'm kidding. Who's the kid playing it?
John Bernthal.
Is he good? Great. Good luck to him.
From The Walking Dead.
So, what motivated you to pursue the career of an actor?
The third world nations or something. Again, I was nothing. It was no, I'm serious. It was an accident. I grew up wanting to. In Australia, landscape gardening is a great job. It's a great career path, and you know, I wanted to just surf, be with my mates, and design gardens and rockeries. And there's a lot of infrastructure involved in landscaping. You got no plumbing, lighting, all that stuff. So that's all I wanted to do. And my girlfriend was a model, and I had to pick her up from a casting. And I was just sitting in a booth and waiting for her. And the casting person came out and she said, "Is that your boyfriend?" And my model said yes. And she said, "Well, God, he has the perfect head for a cigarette commercial." And I was 20, maybe. And you know, from earning $800 a week as a landscape gardener, which was great back in the 90s, I earned 50 grand in a week. Because I got the job. And because my girlfriend rang me up and said, "My God, you got the job." And then after that, I said, "Okay, this is the career for me, for sure." So I came back really arrogant, thinking that I could be a movie star, thinking I could be an actor, and it didn't work out. I was awful. And but then I just caught this bug, and it was then I decided, well, I've got to kind of try to make this work. And so that it was about 21, I started taking it seriously, and I started studying it, and then I got into one of the best drama schools in Australia, and here I am. Yes?
I have a tricky question. I know you are on DC, but what did you prefer on general, DC or Marvel?
In general? Well, well, I mean, honestly, my favorite super, even though I haven't watched any of them, to be honest. And I'm not dissing them. They're just not my cup of tea, which is probably crucifying myself because I'd probably get hired at a movie like that saying that. I'd be terrible at publicity junkets like this. That movie sucked. Spider-Man was my favorite. The first one that I saw was amazing, and Dark Knight Rises with Heath Ledger and Christian Bale. I mean, for me, The Dark Knight was a flawless piece of art, and I think the genre is kind of wearing itself out. In my personal opinion, I think the genre has been bastardized too much. So I think it's all about trying to reinvent itself, and I haven't. I got word from a mate that Ragnar was really good, really funny. Deadpool. I saw Deadpool. Amazing. I was just fucking laughing my ass off at that. So if we can make the genre like that, and if you're gonna make it dark, if you're gonna make it really serious, Christopher Nolan has to direct it, and an amazing actor like Daniel Day-Lewis needs to play one of the roles. You know, that's not.